If the Thunder fail to come back from down 3-1, it'll be their second straight first-round exit. And take a look at the plus-minus numbers. I mean, you know, people here are like, oh, you should take back last year's MVP. He didn't play like this last year. This is him this year, right now, in this playoff series.
Wow.
This is not good with him on and off the court. Take a look at that. I mean, Paul, when you look at this specifically, how do you feel about Russell Westbrook?
I think it's been very disappointing because I put Westbrook at a very high standard. He's an MVP. He averaged a triple-double. And when I watch this game, he doesn't look like the best player on the court. You know, usually I give the team an edge who has the best player. Donovan Mitchell, a rookie, he looks like the best player in this series. And so I'm just like a little disappointed because I know Westbrook is a better player than when he's playing. Sometimes he has to just slow down. Sometimes he has to just think out the game. You know, he's playing all his raw talent, but at some point you have to say, look, let me slow down a little bit, let me not get my anger into it, and just play and do the things I need to do for our team to win.
Yeah, sometimes numbers don't tell the whole story,
right,
when you look at it. But as Paul just said, last year at this time, he was clearly the best player on the floor. Right now, that's Donovan Mitchell, and it's not even close, which says a lot, And he's not only outplaying Russ, but he's outplaying their big three.
Yeah.
And this is a rookie.
Right.
He's outplaying all three of those guys by himself, and then he's getting help, from a lot of guys who are doing exactly what they're supposed to do on a night-to-night basis.
And I mentioned earlier in the show, it felt to me that Russ got distracted by I'm going to shut down Ricky Rubio, and Ricky was able to sort of, bait him into, the first foul was Russ just accidentally tripped him, but the second one definitely was Ricky selling some contact and baiting him. When you played against Russ, do you know that he's so into it, he's so hyper, he has so much energy? Can you bait him into some stuff if you want to?
You probably can. He played with so much emotion. But myself personally, I never did because he was too talented.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I just think he gotta stay away from small stuff like that. I can recall back in 2004, Paul, you probably remember this. We was up 2-0 Indiana, and Ricky Davis on the side. Go get the brooms. Go get the brooms.
Right.
And we couldn't believe that he was saying stuff like that because it's a distraction. But then when you go home, come back the next game, you got that on your mind. What Ricky said, you got to even play a little harder to try to make his word stand for something. And when you do stuff like this, it's added pressure.
That's so interesting.
Right.
So when Russ is up there at the
We wound
podium
up
saying
losing that series.
Yeah,
teammates feel like they've got to do that. Russ last night was asked about Ricky Rubio, and he had a very different tune. Take a listen.
He made some shots, too comfortable, but I'm gonna shut that shit off next game, though. Guarantee that. Well, it's not about me or him. Let's get past that. We done with that.
First of all, you got a little Hogwarts one going on there. I got to shout that out.
You got to stay with it. You started the beat. You got to stay with it.
You got to own it. You got to own it.
See, I kind of think that's what you got to, look, that's what you got to do.
own
What
it,
is he
Russ.
supposed to do? Carry this further? We're all up here saying it's a mistake.
Well, you got to own it. You spit the words out, you spit the fire out, you got to own it. When you spit the fire out and then you get burnt, it's usually, I don't know. What you think, B. Scott?
I agree with Paul. You got to own it. He could have just said, listen, the man played great again. They won the game, and it's not about me and him. This is about the team.
So you think he should have said something first?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no.
Because you made a statement.